Are you looking for the best laptops for video editing? In this video we will look at some of the best laptops for video editing the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Apple MacBook Pro 14 M2. The best laptop for editing videos we've tested is the Apple MacBook Pro 14 M2 2023. This premium model provides an amazing user experience and packs plenty of processing power to handle even the most complex work. Its mini LED display has full DCI-P3 coverage, and it's well calibrated out of the box, so you can get straight to work without needing further calibration. You get a spacious, tactile keyboard, a gigantic, easy-to-use haptic touchpad, and an outstanding port selection, including 3 USB-C/Thunderbolt 4 ports, an HDMI, and a full-size SD card reader. If you want more screen space and don't mind paying more, you can get the Apple MacBook Pro 16 2023. It has better-sounding speakers and a slightly longer battery life. Apple has released new MacBook Pros equipped with its M3 chip only 9 months after the release of the M2 models. The M3 Pro/Max socks are faster, particularly the GPU, and they also bring ray tracing support. The external design remains the same, though there's a new space black color with a more smudge-resistant finish. Apple no longer sells the M2 model, so get the M3 unless you can find a good deal on the older model. See the M3 MacBook Pro on Amazon or Best Buy. For Windows users, we recommend the Dell XPS 15 2023. A 15.6-inch premium mobile workstation. It's available with Intel 13th Gen H series CPUs and various NVIDIA discrete GPUs, up to an RTX 4070. Like the MacBook Pro 14, it provides a premium user experience with a nice display, a comfortable keyboard, and a large touchpad. Its port selection is more limited, though, as you only get 3 USB-C/Thunderbolt 4 ports and an SD card reader. Also, its webcam is quite bad, especially for such an expensive device. The main advantage it has over the MacBook Pro is that its RAM and SSD are user replaceable. You can get this laptop directly through Dell if you have trouble finding it elsewhere. Number 2. Dell Alienware M16 R1. Our best mid-range pick is the Dell Alienware M16 R1 2023, a 16-inch gaming laptop. This model is available with powerful AMD or Intel CPUs and various discrete GPUs, up to an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4090, giving you plenty of processing power to complete your tasks quickly. Of the 3 display options, we recommend the QHD Plus panel with DCI-P3 coverage, though you can also go with the 100% sRGB panel if you only work in SDR. The displays only get up to 300 candelas per square meter of brightness, which is fine for most indoor settings but definitely a step down from the Apple MacBook Pro 14 M2 2023, S1600 candelas per square meter brightness in HDR. While the build quality is inferior to the MacBook Pro, this laptop still feels very well built. It just doesn't feel as premium and isn't as portable. The keyboard has tons of travel and tactility, and the touchpad is small but responsive. You get plenty of ports to connect peripherals and external displays, including 2 USB-As, 2 USB-Cs, an HDMI, and a full-size SD card reader. Unfortunately, its battery life is terrible at only 2.5 hours of light use, and the fans get pretty loud under load. This laptop starts at $1,699 MSRP, and like most Dell laptops, it's easier to get through Dell. Number 3. Asus TFF15. The best budget laptop for video editing we've tested is the Asus TFF15 2022, which is also a gaming laptop. It's more portable than the Dell above, as it's a smaller model with a more compact design. However, it's an older model from 2022 with Intel 12th Gen CPUs and NVIDIA 30 series GPUs. Don't worry, these last generation CPUs and GPUs are still more than adequate for video editing. If you work in HDR, you'd be happy to know that there's a QHD Plus IPS panel with full DCI-P3 coverage. 2 USB-C/Thunderbolt 4s and an HDMI allow you to quickly transfer files and connect up to 2 4K displays with a single cable. The RAM and storage drive are user replaceable, so if you're on a limited budget, you can get a cheaper model to start and upgrade later. Thermal throttling is minimal, but the fans get pretty loud. Number 4. Apple MacBook Air 13. The Apple MacBook Air 13, 2022, is a great option if you only edit videos as a hobby. Its M2 chip has media encoders and decoders that significantly boost performance in tasks like video editing. There are also media engines for Apple's own ProRes format. It has a sharp and bright display with full DCI-P3 coverage, and its factory calibration is superb out of the box. Port selection is its main weak point. It only has 2 USB-Cs and can only support one external display. The battery lasts around 11 hours of light use or a little less than 3 hours when performing intensive tasks like video editing. You can get up to 24 GB of memory and 2 TB of storage. Just remember that these components aren't user replaceable. Also, the base 256 GB storage option has slower read and write speeds, so if you often transfer files, it's worth upgrading to one of the larger capacity options. If you want a larger screen to work more comfortably, you'll love the newly released Apple MacBook Air 15, 2023. It's the same device as the 13-inch M2 MacBook Air but with a 15.3-inch display and better speakers. Unlike its smaller sibling, you don't need to upgrade to the more expensive model to get an M2 SoC with 10 GPU cores, giving you slightly better graphical performance than the base 13-inch model, which has 8 GPU cores. Besides the $200 price increase over the 13-inch model, the EV